Sub homeboys. Been a while, huh? Main reason for that is because I'm lazy, but a secondary reason is because I'm busy. So I'm not really making videos all that often. That's besides the point, right? Here's a video for you. You wanna know if you want to fucking pull for Soohyun and how much of her you need to pull for? I got you, homie. I tested this shit on stream and I can hook you up. So let's get to the setup, huh? Okay, so the mommy, right? I mean, fuck. So this is, I see this is kind of the setup. I didn't use the setup on stream. Those that saw it know that I was level 1 out of 80. Everything else didn't change. It's still the same gear as it was on stream. The only thing that is there is the level. The stats here are identical to what I did in the testing. So realistically, let me just kind of get into talking about her advancements, right? And the testing results. So I'll mainly focus on the no weapon test because I tested her with level 100 advancement 5 weapon versus no weapon. It wasn't necessarily to test how weapon the good is, although the difference is visible, but that was not the objective. The objective was to get the correct margins for the advancements. So to put it this way, right, at A0, like with these stats, basically like 10k, she had like 6k attack, and then the other stats are the same. She could barely kill the bear, but obviously the attack was low, so you know, she could barely kill the bear. But then the crazy thing happened when I advanced her to A1. At A1, she was like fucking killing the bear with 40 seconds, 50 seconds to spare. Like the increase was like a fucking full minute. Like, I'll be honest, it was massive. The increase that happened at A1 was insane. And then, you know, well, when I say insane, precisely I mean that it was like 84% increase. That's just for the no weapon comparison. For the weapon comparison, it was like 24%. So, you know, don't worry about it too much. It's just, you know, the lower end of it. So then A2 happened. A2, obviously there, like, it's weird because with the weapon comparison, it actually didn't feel like there was an increase. In fact, I was getting worse times consistently. I don't feel like there was anything wrong. I think it was just my RNG and me playing like shit, which ended up dropping the time. But honestly, I think that it was like, if that was the case, the increase was negligible enough to where it didn't even fucking matter. Now for the no weapon, right, there was an increase, which was like 10 seconds, I guess. Obviously it was an increase, but was it really massive increase? I wouldn't really fucking say it. Like, it was like 20% increase, something like that, right? So it was obviously an increase, but was it mandatory? No, not really. Now moving on, right, to A3 was obviously, now I could see the fucking difference again, even with the weapon, because you're obviously, it's a percentage attack increase. You increase it by 24%. It's a big fucking increase, so you can really notice it, right? The only problem is because the attack was like the flat attack was low, the percentage increase wasn't as visible in the no weapon test, because obviously percentage increase is gonna do more the higher like flat attack you have. So because it was fairly low, it wasn't too massive, but it was still, you know, like a good 20 second increase, which ended up being like 25% overall. So it was big. Was it really big? No, I think it wasn't super big. It was just, you know, decent. Now for her A4, I'll be honest, even in the weapon comparison, the increase wasn't super noticeable. And in the no weapon comparison, the increase was like unnoticeable. It was literally like 3%. From A3 to A4, the increase was like 3%. Which is okay. That's like, what? That's what? You know, it's like, it's it was more or less meaningless, right? I didn't really put too much emphasis on it. And then for A5, the increase was like 19%. But the thing is, the way her A5 works, it's not very noticeable. The reason why that is the faster you do the content, the less value you'll get out of her A5. Because as you can see in the weapon run, it was like 1 second improvement, which was, you know, negligible. And the no weapon comparison, the improvement was like 20 seconds, which was quite a bit noticeable, especially if you look at the times of comparing A3 versus A4. It was definitely more noticeable in the no weapon comparison, and the reason for that is very simple, which let me look at her skills, right? So this is the skill that gets upgraded by her A1, which gives the second one, and this is further upgraded by her A5. So her A5, right, each stack of magic reaction you have, your damage for your kill shot increases by 4%. It stacks up to 20%, so you get 80% damage increase. So that's basically almost double damage. And the way it works, this passive, is you get this, like obviously increase fire damage taken, right? So obviously it's not gonna do anything for anything else than fire units, but increases fire damage taken by 1%, so increases up to 20% on top of that, which you already increase. And the only way to get these two, like these stacks, right, is either with her ultimate, which generates these like shooting spotlights that, you know, generate the stack, or this skill, but not exactly this skill. It's the upgraded version of this skill, which is like madness, which is like hellfire, some shit like that. That also stacks it. So the thing is, right, unless you're stacking these magic reactions up, A5 does nothing. So in a fast fight, let's say you're going in a fight, you're speedrunning it, right? You're killing the boss in 10 seconds. You're not gonna see a single fucking one of these stacks. If you're one-shotting the content, you're not gonna see these stacks, meaning her A5 is worthless. Unless it's a longer fight, her A5 is worthless. So just something I should put there so people know this. So in a long fight, her A5 is insane. In a short fight, her A5 is fucking useless. So with that being said, now you may ask, how much should I pull, right? Obviously, I'll say this like always: if you're a whale, just go to A5. Don't fucking go to A10. I don't understand where people came up with this A10 bullshit. A10 is kind of cringe. Like the stat increase is very negligible. Like you get one straight up more of an increase from one item piece than just from getting it to A10, and it's so much more expensive. So unless you're a super whale, it doesn't matter. Yeah, if you should get her to A5 if you're a whale. If you're free to play, just get her to A1. Now the way I would put it, right, some people say, oh, the sweet spot for free to play is A3. A3 is not free to play range. Like, you need to, like, it is free to play range if you get lucky. If you're lucky shit, it's not free to play range. If you're lucky shit, your best bet is A1. That's it. And honestly, in my opinion, if you're planning to pull just for her, right, just skip her, because you need the A1. The A1 is not even funny. The A1 is basically like getting a new skill on her. You literally get an extra skill. It's like, it's not even close. You need her A1. Like, her A1 is more mandatory than Alicia A5, in my opinion. Her A1 is insane. And it's like, if you're not getting her A1, then just don't pull for her. Just keep saving. Now, do I think she's necessary? Currently, no. Emphasis on the word currently. Because the same happened with Alicia. We didn't need Alicia until Vulcan came. And when Vulcan dropped, we needed Alicia. But those that skipped it didn't have her. So I'd suggest, you know, if you're planning to pull for her, wait a little bit. We'll see if there's any content that really needs her. They teased that there's gonna be a workshop that needs a fire team. So she might be mandatory. But, you know, for now, the decision is up to you. If you do pull for her though, pull for A1. And with that being said, I hope you have a good morning, day, evening, night, right? Whatever you're having. I hope you have a good one. And I'll see you next time.